Boys, I might be baking bread.
No.
Barry?
Yeah?
Could you help?
No, not right now.
Okay, don't worry.
I've done skid marks on my plate, Barry.
All of that for that.
It's giving kind of Crufts after party.
You ready for this?
Ready.
So, my plan is I'm taking camp food and I'm making it fine dining from the camping grounds to Michelin star restaurant. Slow cooked meat, dauphinoise potato and a red wine jus. A lamb-based rice dish and mac and cheese into fine dining lamb.
So is this just a serving suggestion that you're doing?
You're just plating MREs nicely, right?
Yes! Oh my God, I've gone such a different direction to this.
They're not wrong, but I'm working a bit harder than that.
Well, if I'd known that was the direction that we were going in, I would have just got a nice glass and some garnish for my Huel.
What the heck are you doing?
I'm taking one of the biggest food trends from the last year and I'm recreating it with Huel. I'm making hot honey butter toast.
Delicious,
But I'm
very basic.
Baking the bread from scratch with
what?
Huel.
You're baking bread.
I'm baking Huel bread. I'm going to be serving it with a Huel custard, and then we're going to have a coulis made with Huel. So it's really a Huelie.
This couldn't be more you.
Whereas, I am going to take Ebbers, who is judging this, to space. I have chicken nuggets, chips, and pizza sauce in
No,
tubes.
you haven't.
What?
And I'm
No.
going to turn those into ravioli.
Oh, wow.
So essentially, I'm going to serve Ebbers chicken nuggets, chips, and ketchup, but it's going to look like a plate of pasta with sauce.
I'm intrigued by these.
Yeah, so am I.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are we?
Mine is a simple in execution, very difficult in making it taste nice obstacle.
I haven't opened my packets yet or tasted them, so I have no idea.
I'm very used to eating or drinking Huel, but I've never baked with it, as I don't think many people have.
Well, this is a creative challenge. Good luck, lads.
Let's
luck.
do this.
Too bad.
See that?
Oh, gosh. So not only are we going to have to integrate MREs into our finished dishes, we're also working with the restriction of shelf-stable ingredients only. And therefore, making fresh pasta without being able to use eggs is difficult. So I'm having to use whole egg powder. A 2-to-1 ratio of egg powder to water. I want 2 whole eggs worth.
The first pack I've got open is a lamb, rice and lentil MRE. I only want the lamb from it, and it says it's 47% lamb pate. But the pate is quite dry and it's been mixed into everything else, and it's going to take quite a while for me to pick it out of everything else, because I don't really want the rice. So I'm doing it by hand, which might not be the wisest thing to do.
So this whole dish rests on me being able to bake bread with Huel. I found a recipe. It's a quick bread, maybe like a soda bread type thing, which means whole wheat flour, some salt, some baking powder, some Huel powder, and we've gone for the unsweetened, unflavoured version, and then we're going to mix that with oat milk, maple syrup, olive oil, and then some seeds, bring it all together into a dough, get it into a pan, get it into a really hot oven for about 20 minutes.
Oh no!
With any hope of making this work.
Shall we have a look and taste of what we're working with? Oh my gosh. Do you want to come and have a look at my astronaut food?
Yes! Oh!
French fries, chicken nuggets, and marinara sauce.
But that's not even the right colour. The chicken one looks horrific.
That is just potato, chicken paste, and that doesn't really taste of anything.
Are you going to try and make the mixture taste good?
Yeah.
With what?
I don't know now. In order to make the chips for my chicken nuggets and chips, I've got my hydrated egg powder, which I'm adding my French fries in a tube into, make some pasta with my 00 flour, roll it up, leave it to rest.
I assumed the lamb would be like big chunks of dried meat with mixed bits of pate, but there's barely any bits of lamb, it's all just pate. And when I loosen this up, it's just going to turn to a mush. Not the start I wanted. I have to reduce my wine for my blackcurrant and red wine jus.
I've made something that resembles a dough. Let's put it into an oven for 20 minutes and see what happens. Now, when we reviewed the honey butter toast in the TikTok trends video a few months ago, it was one of Barry's favourite recipes of the year so far.
Oh!
Yeah, but I thought it was missing something to take it from a great trend to being a superb trend, and that was a little bit of chilli. Hot honey has become a massive trend, so why don't we have hot honey butter?
You know what I have at home?
What's that?
Gochujang honey.
Gochujang honey.
And it's unbelievable.
Yes. Butter, sugar, honey, chili flakes, mix, spread on our bread once it's hopefully baked.
Now to see what happens when I add water to my MRE. So I want this to be like a slow cooked lamb kind of disc that's going to go on top of my delicious dauphinoise. Right now, I'm a long way away. It does not look pretty.
Mike, I didn't realise that you were making your own dough as well. But are you making it like a fresh dough but with the egg powder?
Yeah.
How's that going to work?
I don't know. We're about to find out whether it's even possible.
Next pack, I've got some original beef biltong, some dried meat. Hopefully I can make this feel more meaty rather than dog foody.
Boys, I might be baking bread.
No!
Well played.
Yeah. Right, shall we make a Huel custard? Now, I'm going to use some of the powder. I'm also going to use the ready-to-drink Huel.
Is this an ad? We are not being paid for this.
Oh no, we're not being paid for this. This is not an ad. I'm going to use this one. Other meal replacement drinks and powders are available. To make my custard, I'm going to heat up my iced latte Huel drink, bring it to a boil, and then pour it over some Bird's instant custard powder, which I think you could probably take into space and you could probably take camping with you and have just as good a time. How many calories are in your meals?
Oh, good question.
Because
A huge amount, for sure.
I added 2 scoops of that into my bread, so that's 800 calories, plus the flour, plus everything else that went into the bread. That's got 400 calories in it. I'm going to add another 100 or so calories of powder into my custard. I think I've got like the recommended daily allowance of calories in this one dish, potentially.
Dough rolled, balled, cling filmed. It's going to rest up in the fridge.
Oh God, that's sticking. That's burning. Oh no. Okay, new plan. This is now hot, so we're going to pour it over our custard powder, stir it all up, and then pour it back into the saucepan and bring it up to a high heat, but gently.
Okay. The sauce, red wine and blackcurrant, classic pairing, especially with slow cooked meats like lamb. For my blackcurrant, I've got some freeze-dried blackcurrant powder, which I'm going to mix in with some hot water and some lamb stock, and then mix that in with my red wine. Hopefully it makes a lovely jus.
Delicious. Bit of honey.
That is bitter AF. Right, let's go with the red wine.
Now let's make a tomato sauce. So I've got my pizza marinara sauce. Going to add a little bit of tomato puree, chopped tomatoes, garlic granules, and basically then I'm going to balance out the acidity and the sweetness with a little bit of ketchup and some verjus, which is basically like a really posh grape vinegar.
I have browned some butter, so I add in here as well, make it a bit more silky and luxurious.
Can I ask you a question before I do something?
Yes.
What are we allowed to use?
Everything has to be freeze-dried or
Long shelf life.
Long shelf life, yeah.
frozen berries. Do they fit into that?
I've got some freeze-dried version of that.
Can I use that?
Yeah.
I think that might be better.
Next up, protein. I've got some pepperamis, essentially shelf-stable spiced salami. So I'm going to cut these into fine discs. I think I'm going to fry these off and then put them through the sauce. The fact that they'll have a little bit of caramelization should help the dish taste nicer.
Let it down with a bit more fuel.
Freeze-dried parsley going in. Put some colour, because this dish needs it.
It's really difficult because I'm not allowing myself to use anything fresh like butter or even oil. I want to use things that you could technically take into space. So I'm going to fry these.
Oh my God, I've got bread.
Oh, you have? It's like a soda bread.
Yeah.
Mate, that is great.
Can I use this? Ben's favourite mushroom powder.
Oh,
Yeah, great shout. I'll leave that another 5 minutes, get it out, and then I'm going to have to cool it really quickly, slice it, serve it with my custard, and I've got to make a coulis somehow out of this and huli.
The next part of my dish is I need my potato dauphinoise, which is the mashed potato and cheese layered with some truffle crisps. Dauphinoise is layers of potato with cheese and all that goodness. This is everything, all those things, just freeze-dried and long-lasting.
now these things are amazing. They are freeze-dried herbs. This is basil, and you only need a tiny little bit that you rehydrate, and it tastes exactly the same as fresh basil. It's absolutely delicious. So that will add a nice aroma.
I've got to get creative. This is the only way. Right.
I love it when Jamie gets creative. He has a little glint in his eye of opportunity, but it's clueless opportunity. It's like when you first start running downhill, you're like, oh, I forget how much easier running down a hill is, and then it gets steeper and steeper and steeper, and he can't stop.
That's as cooked as I think it's going to be. So I've put it onto a makeshift cooling rack, and that's going into the freezer.
Now, this is all about making chicken nugget paste taste like it's not chicken nugget paste. So this is a pure experiment. Maybe get some of the potato mix in there as well. Get a little bit of vajou. Baz is using the parsley version of my basil, so I've stolen some. Let's see if this rehydrates.
Got my purebred out of the freezer. It's cooled down a little bit, but honestly, I don't have any more time to waste. I'm going to cut a slice out of it, and then we're going to cover that in our honey sugar butter, and it's going to go back into the oven for a few minutes to crisp up, or flip it over, do the same again. And in the meantime, we're going to figure out what's going to go on top of all of this. We'll see. Is that cooked? It's melting off.
He is now at full speed down the hill. He's tumbling.
Back into the oven. Jam.
That's a preserve.
Jam is definitely a preserve. I can definitely use jam. I'm going to have to put some huel in it though. All right, we got this.
Okay, let's construct in this pan.
Still a bit grainy, a bit more huel.
That goes on here. Push it till it's formed.
It's not the best thing in the world, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Honey and sugar. I need more honey and more sugar.
This has not made very good pasta dough, which is a concern, I'll be honest. But we'll see whether I can roll it thin enough and whether we can make this work. Right, now let's try and get it through a machine.
That's better. Now it's a hot pan. That's firmed up a bit more. That should hopefully crisp on the bottom. Hopefully.
Barry,
Yeah?
could you help?
No, not right now.
Okay, don't worry.
Do you want me to help?
Oh yeah, could you hold that up for me and feed it in? This might be too thin.
No, thin's good. Thinner the better, right?
Thank you, mate. You're a hero.
No worries.
I have plenty of pasta for my mistakes. So my chicken nugget paste, it's just not great. There's not much more I could do with that because it's so salty.
You made a flapjack?
Yeah. Do you know what? A flapjack might be closer, actually, to what I've made.
Here we go.
Plating time.
It's skid marks.
I've done skid marks on my plate, Barry. We're here now.
You got this, Spaff. Pepperami's gone into the sauce. All of that for that. Hello, Ebbers.
Hello.
Are you ready to eat meals?
Correct. There's been some interesting smells in the building. I'm intrigued.
Well, let's start with my creation, centered around those 3 space tubes for astronauts, pizza sauce, chicken nuggets, and French fries.
There's a lot to take in there, isn't there?
Yeah,
Sure.
sorry, I'll just give you a sec.
What are these?
They are
Pop the helmet on and you'll figure it out.
astronaut MREs.
You just squeeze them straight into your gob.
You heat them up and then squeeze them straight into your gob. And therefore, Ben, I have made you chicken nuggets, French fries, and tomato sauce.
Or ravioli pasta.
This has all been made with shelf-stable ingredients. The French fries mix are through the pasta. You have a chicken nugget filling, seasoned with verjus, a lot of garlic granules and anything that would make it taste nice. And it's finished with a pizza marinara sauce. Oh, what have you got there? Some French fries?
No, that's chicken.
Chicken nuggets.
Oh, it smells a bit funny. I mean, forget this. This is new to me. I don't really know what you're working with.
That looks different.
That's potato.
chips.
Right.
Based on the colour of that, it's, I guess, closer to tomato? No, that's pig.
Sorry, it's a pepperoni marinara pizza sauce is what it's marketed as. Enjoy your chicken nuggets and chips.
What I find fascinating is these are the least food-like substances I think I've ever seen. And yet that looked like a plate of food. The pasta is not terrible.
Can you taste any of the potato through it?
No, but it is starchy, it's heavier, it's denser, so not a flavour. Like, I feel like, forget space food, if I was on a boat and needed to put on a wetsuit.
Neoprene.
The filling is very pasty. It reminds me of overcooked chicken that you've pulverised into a mousse. If I was facing the end of the world, I could eat this.
That's very kind.
Cool, great, good job.
Great.
Good. Cool.
Sounds like a tick to me.
Boss is in a great mood. Should we keep moving on?
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, turning those 3 sludges into something that looks like food is a success. I don't think the taste or the texture of any of it is great, but then that's what you're working with.
Okay, Evans, please lift the cloche.
Surprising, I do feel more comfortable with this. It's been many years, actually decades, since I've worn a scarf and wobble. Well, that looks good.
So what I was working with was Oh, that's impressive. We was working with scout material, camping MREs, a lamb and rice dish and some cheesy mash dish, which I've used some extra biltong and some kettle chips as well, blackcurrant powder as well, and a red wine jus.
Jus.
Yeah, I'm not sure I call it jus. It's sweet, it's tangy, but it's rich and winey, almost meaty.
Yeah, it's got lamb stock, red wine and berry powder, hence why I got so thick.
Cheers. Nicely seasoned, as in quite salty, but good. It's all quite dense, but actually all very tasty. I don't know whether you have added seasoning to it or this is just how salty these are, but it is incredibly salty. The jam, jus, could do with a bit of hydration, but it's hearty. I mean, it was hit heavy in your belly, and if you'd had a day of strong activity, it would fuel you. It's giving kind of Crufts after party.
For the dogs?
Yeah, for the winners.
I would strongly get
It's giving dog food vibes, and yet it actually tastes quite, I use the word that everyone hates, deep. There's a real richness to it. You'd be fueled for sure.
Ready for dessert?
Sure.
Okay, Ebbers, I hope you've worked your way up to dessert. I used Huel in both powder and ready-to-drink form.
Yep.
Lift the cloche to reveal your Huel hot honey butter toast, served with a latte custard and a berry Hewley.
Ooh.
So I baked the bread using Huel, wheat flour and seeds. So it's kind of like a soda bread. It's very quick bread, but it might be slightly more flapjack in texture.
Latte custard. I mean, latte is just milk, right? Milk custard with coffee.
With Huel latte, which is next to you, the black one, the protein one. There you go.
Oh.
Heated that up with some instant custard powder. And then there's also a berry Hewley, or coulis, if you prefer.
Tasty. Very sweet. There is a kick of coffee coming through. More bird's custard trifle vibe.
Yep, that'll be the instant custard powder, I think, from Birds.
Yeah, but in my head, this is thicker and colder, and therefore more of a trifle consistency than a poured on a plate consistency. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
He's still going.
He's getting a workout.
The calories you burn chewing it. Lots of texture coming from seeds. What feels like sort of very whole grain-esque. It's heavy, it's dense, but for protein-rich products, which people seek, it's kind of what you'd expect. The sweet hot honey in it is a nice touch. The textures are more than just one-dimensional. In the middle, it's quite chewy and seedy, and the outside you've just kind of crispy, and there's gnarly bits that have crisped up. For me, give me like flapjack corners. That's quite nice. And the berry thing, what was the berry? That was that one.
So yeah, jam and the berry Huel, bit of icing sugar as well.
It's quite Moorish. Probably bold calling it bread,
On reflection, yes.
but nutritiously sound. And by that I mean lots of nutrition.
Lots of balance.
There is so much balance. Yeah.
Now I see the breadth of it. In summary, I think Mike's dish went on the biggest journey from the products you started with to something that looks like filled pasta with a tomato sauce, but for me, doesn't really get there on taste. Barry has essentially taken a bunch of products, taken out of it what provides balance, rice, and therefore stodged the rest onto a plate. Incredibly salty, and yet it was the one that on first impressions gave me the wow. And this has taken the products and turned it into something completely different, and portion size aside, I think is really good. I think Jamie takes the win. I think Barry comes in second, and that's unfortunately unlikely to be eaten when the cameras stop rolling.
Yeah, well done. Well done.
What's really funny is his sweatbands look like bandages.
They're doing little, aren't they?
Really look
I
like
regret
that.
not putting the space helmet on now. Maybe that's why I didn't like it.
Well, if you like those recipes in that video, give the video a like and comment down below which one would have taken your win.
If you want the recipes, they're all available downstairs. We're going to upload them individually. No, we are.
They're going to be on Psychic, aren't they? Absolutely on Psychic, yeah.
Oh,
That's not anything to be proud of, Barry.
it's an achievement.
Not good.